Hey, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. It is Tuesday. Yes, you are tuned in live to noontime my time, and it is Talk It Out Tuesday with Tori and Tonya. And today we have a very interesting topic for you all. Now, I don't want y'all to get upset with me because Tori chose this topic, so I'm just going to put it out there first. I'm going to let y'all know she chose it. But the question is, and I think she's asking a very good question. Are empowered women emasculating men? That's the question we're asking today. And that's going to be the topic that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk it out a bit among ourselves, right? We're supposed to be here for each other. I think the goal is in a healthy relationship, we should be able to create a balance and a harmonious dynamic that benefits everyone involved, regardless of of gender. That's what I think. Women should be able to be empowered. Men should be empowered. There has to be a balance there. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's got their opinion. So what we're going to do here, we're going to chat about it. That's exactly what we're going to do. But before we get into it, you know what we got to do? We have to breathe. It's lunchtime. No, it's not just lunchtime. It's your time. It's noontime. It's my time. And we're about to recalibrate. We're going to take a little bit of that time back to ourselves. We're going to recenter. And how we're going to do that? We're going to do a little breathing, right? So we're going to inhale to the count of 4, and we'll hold that a few times, and then we'll exhale, and we'll hold that a few times for a few seconds, and then we're just going to do that a few times. For those of you who have been here with me and you've been following Noontime My Time podcast, this is how we've been getting to our conversation. We've been taking that time for ourselves, taking that breath, and it feels real good just to take that moment before you eat any food, before you allow it to enter your body. Get to a calm space. Get to a good place. Shake off anything that could have gotten you a little upset, gotten you a little off balance. We're going to shake that off right now. So let's inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold for a few seconds. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. How's that feel? Hope you're feeling good. Hope it has taken you to a calmer state of mind. Yeah, because that's where we want to be. And we want to make sure that we can get into this conversation. We can chat a bit. We can share just our opinions about this thing because there's a lot going on. And we need to learn to love each other. Learn to love each other better. And the question that we're asking today is, are empowered women emasculating men? It's a really, really good topic because women can be empowered, but I'm not so sure if we have to be empowered at the expense of our men. And if this is the case, we got to find some ways of working this thing out. We've got to. We're here for each other. We're here to benefit each other. And that should be our goal. So I'm going to bring Miss Talk It in, and Miss Talk It Out in, I should say. Bring Tori into the mix. How you feeling, Tori?
I'm great. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited about this conversation.
Yeah. Well, you chose the topic. And I just went ahead and put that out first because I was like, I don't want anybody blaming me for
I
where
see,
this
I see how you
conversation
laid that out
goes.
there. Very, cool topic.
But
I want you
there
guys to
was a
know about.
reason why you chose this topic. You sent me a you sent me a video.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, let's go over here to YouTube here. Now, go ahead and let people know what brought this up for you.
Well, for me, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw the gentleman with the top hat, the brown, and and I watched. I clicked on the video and I watched it, of course, to see exactly what he was talking about. Because of course, the headline is what caught my attention, which says Tyrese Gibson's girlfriend emasculates him on live. So that what drew me in. I was like, let me click to see what he's talking about. And then he played the video. And in the video, I feel as if the his Tyrese's girlfriend did emasculate him the way she treated him on live. And I was like, oh man, wow. My thing is this. I've been in
Okay, okay.
relationships.
Before you go there, hold on, because I
Okay.
want to ask you a question.
Okay.
You just jump right on in, like you got your foot on the gas, and I'm just saying, hey, pump the brake a little bit here.
You know, I
Okay,
said,
so what I was gonna ask you is, do you want to let's listen to a little bit of the video that you sent me? You want to let's hear a little bit of it?
yes, let's do that.
Okay, okay. So we'll let people kind of know where we're coming from so that they can have their opinion. And when they're commenting through the chat, I think that's going to make for a better conversation. So what I
Absolutely.
want to let you guys know is that we have fair use under the copyright laws here. So I want to let you know that we're going to play some clips from this video. And we have the right to play this video under fair use. So the following video is really what sparked the conversation for us.
I was looking for a way to make some extra money. I saw this video of a guy talking about how much money he made on DoorDash.
Analysis on it. Here you go.
And yeah.
All right, so that's the most commonly asked question. How did we meet? Slid in the DMs.
Yeah.
We linked up.
He wasn't my type at all. My type was actually Paul Walker recipes. But he wasn't my type at all. And my type is not white. I'm just saying I was more interested in
touch me.
Paul in every facet of your
Don't touch me.
And even when I met him, I was like, he's kind of old. I just like his smile. It's pretty cool.
This one
his
really
personality.
bad.
His personality.
This just went really bad, really fast.
His personality was okay, but
I'm getting off live.
He didn't understand the Instagram model thing, so he would always talk down.
So you
Instagram
wanted the homie.
models.
You didn't want me.
I never said I wanted the homie. I just said he was cuter.
You said I'm old.
You know all this already. I wasn't your type either, so relax. And yeah, so now we're here. It's like an actual somewhat of a love story, which is crazy because I didn't know that
Yeah.
All right.
No.
I'm done.
No,
don't touch
How
me.
you feeling? You ready to jump in here a little bit
that
and talk about it a little bit?
Absolutely. First of all, me being the person that I am, even if I have an issue, if I'm in a relationship with someone, even if I have an issue with them, I would never publicly humiliate them. They were live. And there's some things I feel that she should not have said. The fact that she said she wanted Paul Walker, knowing Paul Walker was his best friend. She said that she wanted Paul Walker. He wasn't her type. She wanted Paul Walker. Then she also says he was old. And I'm like, what? There's some things, even if you felt that way, why would you even say that to him? And then to say it to him publicly? I'm like, what? And then when he was trying to speak, she just totally like disregarded what he had to say. Like, I'm talking now. It doesn't matter what you have to say. What you have to say is not valid. And then the fact that she could see his body language, he's clearly upset. And she totally ignored it and kept talking. I was like, what? That's just not what you do, because I feel a lot of times in the society that we live in, they say women are the prize. I feel as though we're both equally valuable. I feel like men and women are the prizes. We have to both complement each other. But I just felt like that was just totally wrong with what she did. Totally
Mhm.
wrong. And I was like,
Mhm.
what? And I understand she has choices because she's a, what do you call it, Instagram model. She has choices, but I'm curious as to why, with the choices that she has and the options that she had, what made her decide to scroll on down. Let me see what Tyrese is about. I'm curious to know why.
You're right. I see we already have a comment here. Drunk is in the building. How you doing, Drunk? He said, nah, she violated Tyrese. And that seems to be the popular opinion. And I'm going to say I have to agree with you guys on here. I just don't think that that was a cool thing to do. I don't know where she was coming from in respect to, like, first of all, no man wants to be dragged by a woman in public. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not at
Right.
all. No man wants
Mm,
to be crushed by a woman. That's like one of their bigger fears, right?
right.
But my question is, why would you drag your man in public? Okay? I don't get it. And online live, that is in public. You know, I heard her say that he wasn't her type, right?
Right.
And I can kind of rock with her feeling that way. But let's kind of deal with that in the context of what it is outside of the fact that she did that publicly, because we've already agreed that that was not a cool thing to do. But let's also agree
Uh,
that that could be a truth. Clearly her truth. She said, you know, he wasn't really my type. And I also heard her say, well, you know, in response to him being aggravated about that, she said, well, I wasn't your type either. So clearly they've had this conversation, right?
Right.
He wasn't a typical guy that she would go after. She wasn't a typical girl. I'm sorry. You get what I'm trying to say. She wasn't a typical
Right.
girl that he would go off after, and likewise. And
Right.
that can be true. I agree with that because people in their mind, they typically have what they feel is their type. Now, is that the number one thing? Do you think that is what went wrong with the live? Or was it when she went into the fact that she actually named his friend?
I feel like all of it was wrong. She named his friend. She went on to continue to publicly embarrass him. She named his friend. Then she went to publicly embarrass him. He's too old. He wasn't her type. I mean, she just kept going on. Like at some point, you should have said, "Oh, it's time for me to like stop talking," or "This is going to the left. We need to bring it on back." It's like she just kept adding fuel to the fire to me. Like at some point, you got to know when to be quiet or when to like veer off and try to wheel it back in. It's like she kept going, and I'm like, why? Why would you do this publicly? Like, really?
Right. I see Drunk here in the comment. He's got quite a few comments. I see like the comments are kind of firing up here. He said, she's an IG model. He's literally the type of guy she goes after. You know, he's laughing. And I think they tend to be bait for these type of guys. They tend to be bait for, you know, the entertainment industry, actors, athletes. There's a certain guy that I think they probably go after it. And he's probably right here. He also says that she doesn't have Tyrese choices. It's a million IG models. 70% look just like her. Wow.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. I agree. And see, that's that we were talking offline, Tanya. That's basically what I meant when I was saying the fact that her going what he just said that she doesn't have Tyrese. I probably didn't word it right, but that's was what I was meaning. She doesn't have Tyree's choices, meaning that, yeah, she probably has, but they're level as Tyrese. That's what I meant by that when I was saying when we were talking offline. And I'm pretty sure she has a lot of choice, but Tyrese, and for him to just to hop in her inbox, he definitely had to have an interest. So that's what I was basically saying. But
Right, right, right. Well, let's take this a little bit further beyond the IG model, if we could here.
Mhm.
And let's talk about women who would have choices or feel like they're in the category of having choices, like women who are strong-minded or strong women. Do you think that I'll ask this question first. Do you think that women can be too strong or too strong-minded?
absolutely, I've seen it firsthand. There is someone. Let me just say this: I'm the girly type. Like, of course, I'm in a single right now. Of course, there's things that I have to do, but a man steps up and wants to do it, I'm gonna sit back and let him do his thing. But there's some women that are strong-willed, they're so independent that if the man tried to do it, they're gonna push the man out the way and still do it. And I've
Mhm.
actually seen that. I've seen it firsthand. Like, why he's trying to help you, but you don't want his help, or I want it done a certain way. He's not doing it right. Move out the way. Because I've actually seen it happen, and the guy was looking like, and he was just he was so embarrassed. I'm just like, wow. But I
Wow.
did say something to that person when he wasn't around, like, that wasn't cool what you did. Because I'm that friend. A lot of people know I'm quiet, but I'm that friend. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I'm gonna call you out on your stuff. But
I
moving forward, they made the adjustment.
I get what you're saying here. I really do. But where I kind of just disagree slightly with you here, or shall I say not so much disagree, but I just have a slightly different opinion, is
Okay.
that I think women can never be too strong or too strong-minded, right? Because I think that your strength and having a strong mind, I think those are positive traits. Those are positive traits that help women succeed, that helps us thrive in various aspects of our life. But here's the thing. I feel like you can be accomplished
Mm-hmm.
and you can be pleasant to be around as well. You can do both of those things at the same time, And I think that's where a lot of women, particularly those who want to consider themselves the independent woman, they're in a different category or put themselves on a different scale. I say, well, yeah, be strong. I'm proud of you, girl. Do your thing, you know?
But
But
don't be so
listen,
strong. But don't be so strong to the point where you feel you don't need anyone. That's what I mean by that. It's okay to be strong,
absolutely.
but don't be so strong to the point where you have this mindset, I don't need a man or I don't need anyone. That's what I mean.
Right, right, right,
Don't
right.
be that strong.
That's
Ooh, Les has a good comment.
Go ahead and read it.
There's a difference between strong and emasculating. A woman can be strong as she needs to be and true to herself without castrating men. Woo! That's so true.
Mm,
That's very true.
come on. Let's he put it out there just like it needed to be said. He said, excuse me, guys. He said, without castrating men. Like,
Right.
really, can you be strong without crushing the man's balls?
Right. Right.
Basically, can you do
Right.
that?
Right.
And I think
Right.
that is important. For as much as we want to celebrate, our strong qualities, you got to be willing to know when to kind of let that thing go. And I think that if let's talk about if a woman is specifically dating, looking for a husband. Do you
Mhm.
mind going there a minute?
Sure, being intentional.
Well, the reason why I ask that is because this kind of brings, it kind of fits within this category of women being strong and looking for certain qualities in men and thinking that they're looking for a husband.
Mhm.
You can't walk around here stepping on men and as Les says, castrating them and expecting to find a husband because what are men doing? They're looking first. They're using their eyes,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to present yourself feminine first. He's not looking for a husband. He's not. So how do you think that affects women and their sense of strength and their sense of empowerment?
Well, you know the term that a lot of people choose to use. I'm not into that terminology, but a lot of females that consider themselves strong and so independent, they call themselves the alpha female, so to speak. And a
Mhm.
lot of men, from my experience, a lot of men, now there are some that like that, and there's some men that don't like that. There's some men that's a turnoff too. So it all depends on the man exactly what you're looking for. But it goes back to, if she's an alpha male, would she be willing to step back if he wants to do something for her? Because like I said, I've had a lot of friends that are alpha females, and they don't like for the man to step up because they've been doing
Hmm.
it for so long. They don't know how to fall back and let him be a man.
Wow. I can kind of say I know those to be some truth. There's some truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I don't understand. I'll kind of break it down like this. And this
Okay.
is how I feel about it. I don't understand why it's impossible for women to think that they're just going to get it all. Especially when they have their job, they have their career, they're feeling themselves great. Like I said, we applaud that. But here's what women need to think about. You don't get it all on your job or in your career, right? You go and
Right.
apply for these positions, and you're willing to consider these positions. You're going to be interviewed, and both parties are really trying to decide if it's going to be the right fit. Then you have to negotiate your salary. You have to agree upon a schedule that you're going to like dedicate your time to for this position. Then there has to be a certain work attitude that you have to abide by in this workplace. You're going to have to adjust accordingly to the work environment. You've got to consider all of those things. And you're negotiating all of those things to adjust for a career, for a salary. And then for a relationship, you want to feel like it's Burger King, like you can just have it your way, right? You just want
Right.
relationships to just work for you how you want it. And that's just not the case, because nobody's perfect out here. Nobody. A lot of us aren't even perfect for ourselves. It takes so long for you to work with the stuff that you've got, and do the self work and awareness with yourself to even love yourself. So I don't understand why women don't think that they will have to negotiate certain things when they're getting into a relationship. That's not unrealistic.
Right. Ooh, there's some great comments. We got to catch up on the comments. Ooh,
Go ahead.
There's like four different comments. Yeah. Drunk says, I love a strong-minded woman, but if it's to the point you putting me down to big yourself up, I'm good on you.
I
Then he
agree.
goes on to say, did you want to say something? And then he goes on to say, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tori, because I think an alpha female is feminine because an alpha male is masculine. So wouldn't an alpha woman be the opposite? Okay. And then Amina says, some women say they are intentionally dating without desire to be married. Some say they don't want traditional marriage or responsibilities of being a wife. They just want a consistent companion. Ooh, that's good.
Start right. Let's pause on this one a bit,
Okay.
because I want to take in what she's saying. She's saying that some women say they're intentionally dating without the desire to be married.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, if you're doing that and you're being honest with yourself, I definitely don't see an issue with that. So I don't think that they would be in the pool of women who are allowed to complain about anything. So basically, they're saying to them, they're living their Sex in the City life, right? Or at least that's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
And then she goes on to say that some of them say they don't want traditional marriage or responsibilities of being a wife. So clearly, it sounds like to me that they know that being a wife comes with responsibilities, that there are categories of duties and things that you will have to negotiate if your choice is to be a wife. And so that's kind of like what I said. If we are going into our jobs and our careers and we're negotiating all of these things, everything, and we go to our job and we act within a certain way because that's just the way that you behave in a work environment, naturally you would have to know, because you're already intelligent, you're degreed up. Well, a relationship has certain attitudes and ways of acting as well. Why do we not want to accept that? Why are we not admitting that? You have to negotiate. You have this whole list. Women have a list of things that they want. Uh, um, everybody has their things. They want them to make a certain amount of money. They want them to act a certain way. They want them to treat them a certain way, make them feel a certain way, and they want them to be attractive. And I'm like, well, damn. Oops.
You good?
Well, darn. Aren't you beautiful? Like, you looking
Right.
for beauty too?
Right.
Can you carry the looks for the relationship? What is it are you negotiating? What is it that you really want? Like, what are those key things that you
Mhm.
want? You know, I
Right.
don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, to piggyback off what you just said in regards to the looks, I feel as if there's a difference between beauty and attractiveness. Beauty fades. And what I find attractive is the qualities, your understanding. You are effective, you effectively communicate. You're a good listener, you're a provider. You're there when I need you. Pour into me as well as allow me to pour into you. You make me better as well as I make you better. Those are the things I
Mhm.
think are attractive because beauty is gonna fade. Because I've actually
Right.
dated someone before that wasn't, I would say, what people would say, well, why are you with them? But it was just the type of person that they were, the way they treated me was amazing.
Absolutely.
They may not have looked
I
all of what people thought they should look like, but they treated me like a queen.
absolutely. And that's the thing. You knew what you were negotiating. You knew what things were more important to you. We get to decide that, you know? I
Right.
see that Les here, he says, that's the thing. I don't think women need to fall back and let men do anything, but communicate your expectations and what you do versus what is expected of him. Now, I agree with that more than 100%, if that makes sense. Absolutely. You
Yeah,
should
I
be able
agree
to
as
do that.
well. And what I
It's
meant
in the
by what I meant by fallback, I mean like if the man offers to do something, don't just tell him, like, for example, one of the examples was the gentleman wanted to open the door and they were like, you don't have to open my door. I mean, like, just be receiving of what someone wants to do for you. It's give and take. You both do things, but be receiving. If someone wants to treat you with kindness, don't, like, just let them be a man, let them do what they're going to do. And like you say, Les, you both communicate your expectations, what you both want out of the relationship. And there was something else you said, Tonya, in regards to the list. I guess I'm different. I don't have, like most women have a list. They got to be this and this. Like one of the biggest things for me, which I hate the term that people say that they're looking for a high value man. What exactly does that mean? Why do a lot of women look for men that has, like, I have people talk about they want the six figures, but yet you're making 30,000, but you want a man that's making, make that make sense to me.
Well, listen. I think that comes down to what you highly value.
Right.
Now, if that is gonna be a tax bracket, that is
Mhm.
one conversation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think you should have a list. Why would you not know what you want in a relationship? Who's supposed to know that for you? And I feel like if you don't know what you want, I'm thinking that you don't want anything. I'm thinking that anything that is given will be taken, and I'm not here for that. And I don't advocate for women to do that. I think that it is okay to have a list. It is the same way that you go into a career and you negotiate the things that you're going to do. You negotiate that salary. You know what guidelines you have to fall into. And not only are you being interviewed, but you're interviewing to feel if the job is a good fit for you. Same thing with a relationship. You've got to find out, is this a good fit for me? What is it that I want? Do I want him to make a certain amount of money? And it's okay. It's okay for that. But if he's doing that, you also have to go in here knowing that you have to be qualified for that. You can't go apply for a corporate job and your last job was Chick-fil-A and you don't have any of the qualifications to go there. Like you might want that tax bracket in terms of making money, but you don't have the qualifications for that. And that's the same thing in a relationship. So you can want that high figure man. There's nothing wrong with that. But what qualifies you for that? What does he want in a woman? You need to know that. What type of wife does a man in that tax bracket or the man that you want or desire, what does he want in a wife? Why are you applying? I think you need to know that.
These are great points. Great points. I guess I'm not into, I had a list, but the list that I had, I was like, I felt like I was asking for too much, but it wasn't like detailed as far as like they have to make a certain amount. For me, it's a little different in regards to how they treat me, if they're a great provider, if they're understanding. My list is a little different. I don't look for a
I see
certain
green
amount of
eyes in
money.
here.
Hi.
Jamacia. She says 100 great points. How you doing, lady? Good to see you in the building. Listen, we all have to have our list. I see Amina here. She says, I agree, Miss Tonya. Having a list serves as a reference of measuring how they fit, complement your values and your standards. And that's really what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
Because you don't go
Okay.
into a job that you know that you're not qualified for, and you're negotiating terms and it's being accepted. 9 times out of 10, you're not even going to get the interview. But we expect a man or woman, whatever the case may be, someone that we're looking to have a relationship with, not to have some negotiables. You need to know that. Know what they are. And more important than that, you need to know what your core non-negotiables are. Let's above and outside of the tax bracket, are they a good human being?
That's
Are
what
they
I was.
good to you?
Yes, how they treat
Are they good to
people.
kids?
Yes,
Are they
yes,
out
that
here kicking
doesn't.
dogs? Are they good to pets and
Yeah.
plants? Like, is he
Right,
kind? Is he
right.
thoughtful? Is he responsible
Yeah,
financially,
yeah.
mentally?
Mhm.
Does he know how to communicate? You need to know some of those things. I see
Yeah.
Jamacia. She has a comment if you want to read what she's saying.
I believe that the longer you're on the planet and we learn from mistakes and being honest with self, that we make better choices. Absolutely. I agree
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I agree. I
I agree
agree. We
100%.
do. We learn from those things, and that's the whole thing. And to be honest, that's what a lot of these relationships really are. They come and they
Mhm.
present a mirror to us so that we can see how we're dealing with some of these traumas and some of these things that we haven't dealt with. They are going to make you deal with them, right? I also
Yes.
see that we have Malik Williams in the building. How you doing,
Malik
Malik?
Malik, what's up, Malik? Malik says, I think the mindset of a man should do this and woman should do that is where we all go wrong. We try to put each other in a box. My wife loves to work in the yard and cut grass. I used to fight to make sure I did it, but I had to learn that I was hindering her from feeling satisfaction of seeing those lines in the grass. So every now and then I let her rock. I cook, clean, wash clothes, and iron. But I also am very ambitious, but not so much that I kill her light. Everyone is different. Oh, I love that.
Come on.
Come on,
Yeah,
Malik. I love that.
understand, brother.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
I love that. And see, see, my mother is like that. She loves to cut grass, and I'm the opposite. I don't like outdoors at all. I'm in the house, like I'm doing the washing the dishes, the washing clothes and stuff, but I hate outdoors. I love that. And I like the fact that he allows his wife to do that. That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm, mhm. And I I'm that type of woman as well. I love it. It's just what I like to do, and I'll be out there cutting my grass. I've had people pass by. I've had men stop by and, offer to, for lawn care service. I'm like, "Well, I could pay lawn service, but I really like doing this, sir." And I've had some who would come and say, "Well, where's your son at?" Okay, this is not about my son right now. This is about something that I like to do that I've done a very long time. I'm kinda out there, I'm kinda in nature, I'm talking to God, I've got a whole lot of thoughts. You know how many creative ideas flow to me and things that I've solved while I've been outside doing my lawn? Lots. So it's not about those things, and I love that Malik said that because he said, "Okay, she likes to cut the grass. I cook, I clean, I wash clothes." Okay? These are things that a man should know how to do as well. We put certain things in gender roles, but when you come together as a couple, you just kinda gotta know what your core values are, what it is that you really want, and it's important to know what you want. Sit down with yourself and ask. That's important to do. I see Amina has another comment here. What is she saying?
Emotional intelligence, communication, and conflict resolution skills are essentials for me. Absolutely. Oh, that's the key factors for me, Amina. I totally agree.
Mhm.
Like I
Those
can
are good.
tell, yeah, I can tell. And is that how to pronounce her name? I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Jamacia?
Jamacia. The basic core values, exactly, because money can always be made.
Thank
And
you.
with Amina saying the emotional intelligence, for me, I lose, like, if I'm having a conversation with you and based on certain things you say, that would cause me to not talk to you again if you don't have the necessary emotional intelligence for me. Because some of the things, and then I dated a guy before because I had a college degree and he didn't. He felt as if I was above him. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And there were certain things that he would say which kind of was throwing slams at me because I had a college degree. And I was telling him, just because I have a degree, that does not make me better than you. You're just as valuable as I am. And I used to always pour into him, but he did not see what I saw in him. He always felt
Right.
like I was above and he was beneath me. And I was like, that's not the case.
I don't know. People kind of we're the women who get trapped in this cycle of thinking that they're dating down or men are not respecting their degree or their career. I'm curious to find out what type of energy that they're actually putting out there. Like, I do know that sometimes it is gonna be another person's own insecurities that are gonna make them feel a certain way, but I also think it's important to be aware of what type of energy we are putting out there, what energy is really being presented forward, because when women are looking for husbands, husbands are looking for wives.
Mhm.
Wives fall within a certain category, and wives present themselves typically feminine first. So you're gonna have to know that, and you're gonna have to go there. You just have to. That's just how I feel, you know? I see
Right.
also, just to go back on the grass comment just a little bit, Drunk says the satisfaction from seeing them lines in the grass is different though. And let me tell you, I understand because that's how I do it, Drunk. My lines are straight.
You're right.
I cut it in a pattern, I cut it in a way, I like it that way. I don't have to argue with anybody. I like it how I like it, you know?
And could you go back a little further in the comments? Drunk comment It's under less comment. It was the timestamp is 12:26. If you can go back to that particular comment. And then the one after that was from Amina. Okay. Joe says it's also a lot of people acting one way when getting to know them. Then when you fully committed, they a whole different way.
Ooh, them
Bruh.
trappers.
Bruh.
Them trappers. I've been in some of those. I got caught. I've been
I
caught
called
one
it-
or two times.
Listen, they sent out the representatives.
Representative out there just doing a good job.
And they're nothing like the representative.
Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, hats off to
Oh my
people who
goodness.
meet really quickly and are able to establish that this is who
Right.
I want, this is what I want, this is what I like, and they decide to, go forward like really, really quickly in a relationship. Hats
Yeah.
off to them. I love that because I don't know necessarily that we really meet that person. I don't even think
Right.
so within a few years. Someone can fool you in 3 years. They can put I've I've seen it. People
Mm.
can pull the wool over your eyes. I have been involved in some shenanigans. I
They
have.
so you mean to tell me they pretended for 3 years? See me, I have to
Well,
start.
I could probably be exaggerating a bit on the exact number of years, but my point is people
Yeah.
can really drag you along for a good amount of time. Longer
Wow.
than what people could probably put a time on. So that's why I said 3 years. Doesn't mean that I don't think you fully know a person in a year. I just don't. I don't,
Right.
because how often if you both have careers and you're both working, like, how much are you really seeing them in a year? Because there's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Right.
So that's 52 weekends, and you may not be seeing them every weekend. So even if you saw them every other weekend, that's still only 26 times. And if you don't really see them every other weekend, that's less than 26 times in a year. So how well do you really know the person? I've done the math. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you. And Malik
Yeah.
has another comment. The comments are moving pretty fast. Malik, Ginger, Jamesia, then Voodoo Child. At the end of the comment, Malik says, your degree enhances us. We become one. In my opinion, my wife is about to pop out soon, and folks will see why it's okay to allow your queen to shine. Even in chess, the king makes one move, while his queen can make infinite moves because of his power. The male lion kicks butt, but the lioness hunt for food. I love nature. That's what's up.
Pay
Mm.
attention. It's giving you
Jamesia's
all the clues.
Listen, that was good. Listen, look at Voodoo Child. I can't even say the word. My testosterone has entered the
More.
building. More testosterone has entered the building. And I have my glasses on and
It's okay. I mess up
more.
words every day. I don't know. It's like I get behind this mic and something happened with my lips and the word just doesn't come out the way my eyes are seeing it. I really thought one day when we were online, I'm like, why is it when I press the live button, I somehow get a little dyslexic? I don't know. I'm putting words in front of words. I'm mispronouncing words. I'm skipping words. I don't know. I think because especially when it comes to the comments, like they're moving and we're trying to read them fast and we're trying to maintain the conversation that we're having and still be aware with what's going on with the chat. So that has a
Right.
lot to do with it. I
And I
also see
purposely
that
put my glasses on so I could see.
Malik here
Malik.
again, he says, I have had a love interest shape shift on me. I mean, just do the full turnaround on me. Watch out for the representatives. Yes, we have to. I know it's happened. Jamacia says, you don't know anyone until you live with them or spend 16 hours a day. Ooh,
That's
16
good.
hours a day?
Good. That's good.
That's a lot.
That's good.
I don't want to be around someone 16 hours a day because that's too many hours. I'm gonna need you to have a life and to be you gonna need a hobby, a sport. Maybe you need to do something in the community, coach. because I
Mm.
don't want to see you for 16 whole hours. No. Mm-mm. I'm good on that.
Ooh.
I don't need that in my life.
And she has another comment, right? But then you'll see the real or representative.
You're right. So, in saying that, that's probably why there was a number of breakups in relationships during COVID, because people were around each other a lot.
Exactly.
They really were.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. And then, of course, around that time, they said a lot of domestic violence situations occurred because people were seeing the real. So that makes a
Right.
difference. Because I'm one of those people, um, I can't be around you day. All day. Go do something. Go hang out with the boys or something. I can't be around you that. Yeah. Yeah. And the
It's certain.
comment that Voodoo says, you see Voodoo Child's comment, people can lie for 16 hours. Yes, they can.
This is true too. Because some of them be out there talking about they at work or coaching a little league team and they not doing that.
Right. And Jamesia says, and then we got to know each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Because when you start out, I can only be myself in the beginning because I'm not good with pretending because I'm gonna forget the act. I'll be like, also, because you know how sometimes you like I've pretended before that I talk a certain way because like I went to school in Charleston and I used to love the people that had the Geechee accent. I thought it was so cool to me. So I met this guy and I was trying to talk Geechee, but after 5 minutes, I'm talking my normal way. He's like, "Well, I thought you talk Geechee, man." I'm like, bro.
You lie. But let me
I'm
say
like,
something here, man. It's
right.
like many times we can code switching thing. You can do that, You very well could do that if you want to. But what me trying to tell you is that eventually you still come down to the core things that you want. What it is that you want. What do you want from a person? That's really important. So I
Wow.
mean, you think about the people who, I mean, that's all fun and jokes. We can kind of, a lot of us play with different accents, a lot of people go in and out. But think about those people who on their corporate jobs, they're code switching. So that there's a whole language and code switching language for us, particularly in our culture as Black people. We do that all the time. We bounce in and out of different dialects. We bounce in and out of different slang, and we use ebonics. When we're around each other, we talk one way. When we're at work, we talk a different way. So that's one of those things. But I see also we have what did Voodoo say here?
I didn't show my girl my feet for the first 3 years.
Is that
3
why the
years, Voodoo.
relationship lasts that long? Oh my goodness. I see that we have Craig Boatwright in the building here. He says that COVID actually cemented my relationship to my now wife. I knew if we could make it through that, we could make it.
That's
Ex-
good.
Respect. And those are the type of situations that allow everything to kind of, like expose itself. You will know if you're around. I mean, I don't disagree with what Jamacia said, with the 16 hours. I kind of made a joke about it, but she's absolutely right. And I'm happy to hear that that worked out for you, man. Like, congratulations again to you and your lovely wife, Diamond. You definitely found a diamond.
Right. Malik, to how you hide your feet. How do you hide your feet for 3 years?
Is this what happens when testosterone comes into the chat? Is this
That's
I love
funny.
it. I
But
get it, but
it's funny that he say that because I used to do the same thing. I used to put socks on my feet because I didn't feel like I had the most cutest feet as I kept socks on. Like, you gonna keep the socks on the whole time? Yeah. And Voodoo
this
Child a
man
whole
said
lot
a
of them.
whole lot of Walmart socks.
Listen, I'm with Voodoo Child because I'm big on keeping socks on my feet as well. I was like,
Listen, they're gonna have to
man.
love you from. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I used to be like, man, I don't want to show my toes. So that's why I started getting my feet done. Cause see, I had an
Oh,
accident. See, my thing is I had an accident when I was a child. So one of my feet is kind of retarded looking. So that's why I used to cover my feet.
so
Amina
your feet
says,
jacked up. You didn't have
Amina
to tell
says
people that on the radio. They can't see your feet.
I don't care. Tanya, you know, I can just be me. I just have to be real. That's just me. Amina
Amina
says
says,
she's laughing at Voodoo. Was her pedicure feet emasculating you? So you had to hide that part of yourself. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Malik says, thank God for ling them. I had, it took a minute, leaning them. I had to think about what Malik was saying. Yeah, thank God for them. They had my feet looking good. And Voodoo Child says, wearing flip flops is on my bucket list. Do it.
you know what? See, Voodoo should keep a wife very, very happy because they will always have laughs in the home. And it's important to have that needs to be something that a woman needs to think about. Is that on my list?
Right.
Those
That's
are
a
the
big thing for
things
me too.
that you need to know.
That's a big thing for me too. Can you make me laugh? Because it's not everything shouldn't be so serious. I think
Right.
and whoever Voodoo, they're gonna be happy because Voodoo like blends in with everybody. So and every time I see him, he always make me laugh. He's just true to who he is. So I love that about him.
Mm-hmm. And then, like you say, you want someone who's able to make you laugh. That's one of the things on the list. And you've got to figure out if that's one of your negotiable things. Okay, so let's say he's more of a serious guy. He's really not so much into the comedy, or he doesn't like comedy, but he's got everything else on the list. And you know that that's something that, hey, we don't have to agree here. This doesn't have to be the zone of that thing that we do together. Maybe this could be something that I can do and I can go out with my girlfriends and we can go see a comedy show or go to the comedy club or whatever the case may be. What I'm saying and what I think is that we need to have realistic expectations. That's just important to have. So I always want what I want younger women to take away from this conversation. And we're talking about different things that we've done, things that work for us. We watched what happened with the Tyrese video, and it's really just about being realistic. The same way that you realistically make choices in your career and you prioritize that, that's just the same process for a relationship. That doesn't make it cold. That makes it real. You really need to know if this is a person that you can be with.
Right.
If you're on and have an understanding of financial goals. Do they want to have a family? Do they want kids? Do you want kids? Because men are looking
Right.
at women, and you could be a beautiful woman and you could have this career and you're wondering like, okay, well, why aren't men approaching me? Well, you may not be approachable because you're living a lifestyle that kind of looks like you don't really want anybody. And it's a very selfish looking life. You don't even look like you even want to have kids. Like kids get ready to slow you down. You're doing your thing. You're here, you're there. So you gotta know what you want. You've got to pay attention to the way you are presenting yourself. And then you got to think about, what does the man that I think that I want, what does he want? What do I have to offer him? We're always going into these relationships or thinking we want to be in these relationships with people, and we're only considering what we want. Well, what do they want? Are you willing to give those things? You have to go in and do that negotiation. Both of you are interviewing each other. The same way that there's some things that you're going to have to probably give up on your list. Well, he has to do the same thing too. He does.
Right.
Yes, he might be after you because he thinks you're beautiful. He very well could be. Because 9 times out of 10, man doesn't care about your value. He's not caring about your education. He does not care about where you work. You know?
Right.
And if there is someone who cares so much about where you work and things of that nature, it might be someone who needs you for that reason, and that
Right.
may be a red flag for you. You dig what I'm saying?
I dig it. I dig it. Can we go back to a couple of comments?
Absolutely.
Do you see the
You want to go
comment
with?
with Jamacia? The positive out of COVID is just that you realize that I like this person. He or she have the qualities that are important to me. I respect and appreciate this person, so marriage becomes the best next step. My ex-husband was my best friend. Laughter wins women and also will steal them away.
Ooh, that's true. Make me
Yeah.
laugh, and you really got my attention. But don't let me tell. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me, y'all. Don't listen to me. I'm not trying to put my stuff out here. I'm purposefully single. Don't come around me with the jokes.
Malik says that's when she's going to emasculate him at the beach. She's going to make him wear sneakers on the sand.
Wait, he gonna have Jordan. He gonna be out at the beach in a pair of Jordans.
Lord have
Oh
mercy.
boy, y'all had to take it back to the jokes. Let's see what Craig is saying here.
Craig says, absolutely. You got it, brother. Every couple is different. The traditional roles in marriage might not work for most. And that's very
Absolutely.
true.
And who made those traditional? Who decided that? Like, was there a vote? Did they make a list and they say, okay, let's write all of these things down. Which side should we put for the women? Which side? Who decided that?
Right. Right. I want to
I don't
know.
know. I don't know. But nobody asked me if I wanted to vote for it. I don't, because I'm cutting grass.
And Jamesia says, I have sons 30, 31, and they say women are confused. Independence versus career versus submission and what that really means. I agree. I've gotten
Wow.
in so many debates with the younger generation in regards to the submission thing. Oh my God, that's an
And you know
argument.
what? That is so deep. Ty Davis says facts. That goes so deep until I think we should have that for another conversation, because it's going to take more than the few seconds that we have left in this show.
Yeah, that needs unpacking, definitely.
It does. You want to read what Malik is saying here?
Sure. Malik says a woman empowering herself is not emasculated to a man who is secure in his life. As long as she never switches up on him, he should be secure in his manhood. And I keep hearing what she wants and what he wants, but we keep forgetting the most important one, what God wants. Ouch. Hello,
Come
Malik.
on now.
You better
Can we
say
get an
so.
A to the men?
Say that again, Tonya.
Can we get an A to the men?
Yeah. And Voodoo
Mhm.
Child says, I'm curious about both of your views as it pertains to the late Kevin Samuel, because I hear some similarity in this subject matter. You know what? And let me cut off my mic, because Voodoo, I don't want to talk about no Kevin Samuels.
Well, I tell you what, that too, I find is another conversation that we could have. Or, I hope you're writing some notes down, Tori, because you usually pick the topics for Talk It Out Tuesday. But we've got a couple good ideas while we're talking to people here. So one was Kevin Samuels, and Jamacia was, what was Jamacia's?
Let me
I
go
think
back.
she was talking about
I'm talking about the submission. I
right.
have sons 30, 31, and they say women are confused. Independence versus career versus submission and what that really means. That's an
Got you.
awesome comment. And that actually
Now,
prompted something else in my head as well when I was reading that.
okay.
Can you go to oh yeah, okay. Can you go to the comment right that Ty made right after that? Yes. Please do a show on how dominant versus that's a good one.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely writing that down.
Dominant and submissive. That's a conversation. But I do like the suggestions that everyone is talking about so late in the podcast here. But we have got to wrap it up. You know that lunchtime is a certain time, and you know that people can't go back to work late off of the lunch break. You know that they can't. It's true. So
Oh
we
my
don't
goodness.
want to keep everybody. It's lunchtime, but we call it noontime my time. And that's exactly what it is. And how we do this thing, we come in here and we come in and we do a little breath work because we want to shake some of that stuff off from earlier in the day and recenter ourselves a bit. That's what we want to do. And we'll have our little chat. We want to go back into our day and we want to be centered. So we're going to breathe this thing out. Yeah. That's how we're going to do it. So we breathe into the count of 4 and we hold it for a few seconds. And then we exhale. We hold that a few seconds. And we do that a few times. So if you're ready to get back into the day and power it out the way that I know that you can, let's do it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold it for a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. And one more time. Inhale. Hold that a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. How that feel to you? Hope you feel great. It's been another Talk It Out Tuesdays. I always love talking to Tori. She always has a topic that we can talk about and a topic that is of great interest to you guys. You guys had the chat going. We love you for it. Yeah, we do. I want to thank you guys for watching and for listening. We're going to be back here. At least I'm going to be back here. Same time, 12 o'clock tomorrow. Do this whole thing weekdays. It's the Noontime My Time podcast. I love y'all.